¿Qué pasa, chicos? Soy su colega Spaz Finas, la dosis de realidad de YWC. Este es su adelante, Rey de Reyes, AAA, OC, Jake fucking DeMarco, y bienvenido la nueva, mi viejo amigo, el señor guapo. Or, what's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. This is your AAA Rey de Reyes 2026 preview. That's Jake fucking DeMarco, but hold on a minute. Guess who's back? Back again, and especially for something like AAA, the old school heads of this channel will recognize Senor Guapo is back again.
Hola, amigos. Senor Guapo's back again for another Spaz Phoenix podcast.
Boom. How's it going?
Yeah, we're here.
All right.
AAA.
Anyways, we know Jake kind of holds up the podcast and makes me look good. For anybody who's a little bit more recent, which is a lot of people because my numbers have gone up recently, who are you? How much wrestling do you watch, and how do you fit into the whole shebang here?
Well, been watching wrestling. God, I'm old now. Not as old as you, Spaz, but
Touche.
I mean, at this moment in time, I'm probably considered a casual viewer at this point because I don't have time to watch as much wrestling as I used to anymore. But back in the day, me, that some chick named Kristen and Suave used to do some wrestling reviews.
Shout out to Black Cat Feline. I'm about letting her take strays, even though I haven't talked to her in ages.
It's fine.
But,
she's cool.
That's an old school call out.
For the token, for who used to be, the token luchador on this channel, had to get you back for AAA.
We're not talking AEW Revolution.
No.
We should, but honestly,
little production side note.
Oh, you are having. Oh, okay.
Yeah, little production side note. AAA is Saturday, but AEW is Sunday. I will be running a pay-per-view day hangout. It's all the same as all the rest of them are. Come on in, have your say in the chat, say hello, talk to people. I'll be there. Jake will be there. Cody might be there. Guapo will kidnap him and tie him to a chair. It's fine.
Yes.
Don't worry. And like I said, over on the Wrestling for Life feed, if you want somebody that's not quite so nice about AEW as Nick and KJ are, come hang out with us and we can actually tell the truth about the Mud Show. But
what a segue indeed. I'm excited for this. Yeah.
We've talked about it quite a bit. Guapo, your thoughts on WWE picking up AAA, bringing it to a bigger audience, how they're doing with it so far?
So far, I mean, the production that they've given to AAA so far has been amazing, especially allowing, or I don't want to say it's a demotion of them putting it on YouTube, but in all honesty, it's done so much more just good for the company just because you're putting more eyes on it. Yeah, just because there's more WWE people going into it at this point, but it's not a bad thing because hell, there's more eyes on it now than it was 6 months ago before the acquisition.
Never mind eyes, they raised the caliber of star they have as well, Guapo. Like, think about when they first were purchased, a lot of people were like, oh, I know, Vikingo and a couple others, but pretty much who knew of Mr. Iguana realistically? And now he's in 2K26 as part of the first season pass. And he's had Rumble moments. He's had all these great standout things. So many people, Lady Flammer. We have the clowns. Regardless, there's many a good things that have happened, and the clowns, out of AAA, and that's come not at the expense, but at the benefit of the talent. And it really is great to see because even someone like an El Grande Americano, the second iteration being so over that people are swarming him at airports. That's an incredible thing for Kaiser to get that kind of reception, but they play along. The audience keeps the kayfabe alive. They know it's not real. They're not morons, but they're able to keep the story going in such a way that still upholds that kayfabe glory days that I miss so fondly.
I think absolutely. The one thing that I've said, because we've been doing this between the two of you guys have seen most of my YouTube podcast career, whatever. I will stick to what I said at the beginning of, at the end of last year. It is the most fun thing to talk about because not a lot of people are talking about it. So not a lot of people are coming to tell you why you're wrong and why you're shit. And oh, you shouldn't like this because XYZ and it's silly and da 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 da. So you have like 45 to 55 minutes a week of stuff that you can enjoy without like a little bit of the analysis paralysis that you get from the more mainstream stuff.
Right.
Absolutely. And it is hard at times because if you don't catch a lot of this live immediately, there is so much coverage that unless you're living under a rock most times, I was in the hospital and knew that Cody won the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't even have my phone on me. Figure that
Yeah.
out. I literally
Yeah.
heard people talking about it from the waiting room. Like that's what happened. You can't escape it sometimes. Like I was like, "Oh, that's a good spoiler." No. Things like that. It just happens at these points. So, lo
It
and
has the benefit
behold,
though, because not a lot of people are talking about it. Like if I go to a
absolutely, it
Destiny,
gets that coverage almost, lack
if I
of,
get
but
if I go to a Destiny show, yes, check it off your Spaz Phoenix bucket list. It's fine. Like nobody else is online right away giving spoilers of that particular indie show. Now we have a very accessible like thing that we're watching on TV, but it has that same. You can still feel like you're like at the small club seeing the band for the first time, not necessarily like seeing them in arena where where everybody else sees what you see.
absolutely, and that makes a difference. Those memories last because you get that more intimate connection, but
Now
you
they will
look at the
be doing,
AAA crowds, they are sold out, and they
and
are
they're
Mhm.
loud.
they're I don't wanna be like, "Oh, they're
Mexican fans are
ECWS,"
always
but
there to show up. They show up to every single show no matter what.
no matter
Doesn't
what the
matter if
card
it's
is.
Yep. Doesn't matter if it was WWE that owned it, is owning it now, or whatever it is before. If you look at older shows, before the acquisition, almost every show is still sold out. I mean, every major production that AAA put on prior was always good because
Yeah.
the talent brought those people there and made them want to go.
And they're
Yeah.
they're now getting, like, the simul feed for the
Yep.
broadcasting where we could see it live, yes, on YouTube, but it's not devaluing them because they're still
Nope.
live on cable networks over there and Fox, like, major networks. They're being broadcast on,
Correct.
like, Fox One and Fox Sports Live and these things like that, so it's not a hindrance in any way, like, they're holding up their end of the bargain,
In
actually
all
taking care
honesty,
of
with
them.
it being on YouTube, I love it just because you're giving that broadcast to so many more people who don't have cable or don't have the subscription service to Netflix or whatever it is.
Well, they
Yes.
did a dry run. They did a dry run with Saturday Night's Main Event when you guys got it on Peacock in the States, and because I think Peacock only exists in the States, everybody
Yep.
else was watching the live feed of Saturday Night's Main Event. So it kind of makes you think it was sort of a dry run for doing something like this, but like get people involved. And then yeah, if it grows, if it becomes bigger, if it becomes something that they can monetize and either add to their Netflix library or onto some kind of like a pay-per-view structure or get them a proper like I know they have a proper TV deal in Mexico on
Yeah.
Fox
Yes.
Mexico, I think is the deal.
Yeah, that's what
But
we're
like
saying, and
in the meantime, you can't get any freer than YouTube.
Yep.
no.
Build the audience, get the audience familiar with stuff that they weren't able to access for so long. The argument that I got pretty much right away because people are so nice when you're trying to experiment with something new on social media, but the whole like, oh, you're only watching it now because WWE bought it.
It's fed, yeah.
And I'm like, first of all, that's not a bad thing. Everybody that tries something, I first tried TNA for the first time like 24 years ago because somebody said, "Hey, you remember Jeff Hardy? He's having a
He's over
ladder match
there
next."
now. Yeah,
No, he's having a ladder match next Saturday in a six-sided ring, and I'm like, that sounds fucking crazy. I think I'll try it
exactly.
out. So the whole like you only tried it because of this, everybody tried it because of something. And the
Yep.
other side of the coin is like, as Jake has done in previous pods, like it literally wasn't available before. Like you weren't allowed to watch it in some
Yes.
scenarios.
It was
So
very much restricted, and the access was very limited, and you had to wait. If and usually it was, like, delayed by months, not
yeah.
days or weeks even, like, so keeping up with the story was very difficult and
Oh yeah.
annoying in a way, and they did that due to the cable deals that they had. What I love is that so many people I almost wanna say it sounds racist in a way, how instantly people were like, "Oh, they're getting 600,000 views on YouTube. That's gotta be just the Mexican audience watching." And come to find out when they showed the analytics, it was everywhere else in the world, but Mexico was watching it on their TV like they normally do.
I was gonna
They
say,
said
like,
that the people are very set in their ways, so they always watch on TV, so that's where the viewership was through the roof for the ratings. But online, it was Italy, it was worldwide is the point, and it
because it's not
wasn't
like,
where it was
and
from being broadcast. Like, come on, really? What an
it should go without
excuse.
saying, but, like, it's not, and we're gonna talk about it, like, on this very card, like, it's not like it's just people from Mexico on the show. Like, it's not everybody's like, "Oh, you watch, in 6 months, they're gonna change it to, like, NXT Mexico," and I'm like, "Yeah, but they haven't, and they've let it be a brand." And
I don't.
the other thing I wanted to grab Guapo's opinion on is, because 'cause I'm a fan of him myself, I really think it's kinda cool, like, along with JBL and, Rey Mysterio, obviously, but they've basically handed English AAA commentary to Corey Graves and said, "Here, this is gonna be your thing," and I think he's
Yeah,
fucking killing it.
Oh yeah,
he's
because
done
he
great.
can. He's done great with it, but he's always been that person that can call the spots better for
Knowledgeable.
more fast paced, moving matches than Michael Cole or any of the other ones. Just because he's been in the ring and he's done all that. He's done the lucha matches and stuff like that before, so he has the more experience and background for it. And all honestly, he's probably the better voice for that commentary team.
And I will say shout out to Rey Mysterio, who is trying to, like, translate promos in real
Yes,
time. He's doing
Yes.
pretty
which
good.
is extremely difficult, by the way.
Oh,
And
that is
JBL
so
on
hard.
there as just a bit of fun, but, like, you got every base covered. You got JBL, who's a bit of a dick. You've got Corey Graves, who's a very knowledgeable, like, matter of fact guy,
Yep.
Yeah.
and Rey Mysterio, who can talk to not only the history of the company, but, like, the cultural significance of certain things and whatnot. I think they've put together, like, granted, they're not at ringside. Like, you
Yeah.
kind of can't do the, oh my god, they're going to break the Spanish announce table in
Yeah.
Mexico.
Could you imagine? Instead, it's oh my god, they're gonna break the English announce table.
I think
Yeah.
they're backstage.
Anyone saying it's not difficult either, just try to say what commentary says in your own language. Don't miss a word
Mm-hmm.
and say everything Michael Cole says for 60 seconds. Don't miss it and keep
Mhm.
up with, you know what I mean? Just that alone, to reiterate, is difficult. Now translate. Forget it.
But
Oh yeah.
the way they do, like, oh my god, how long have I been saying it? WWE's, like, really great
Yeah.
at video packages and whatnot. The way that they're dual translated, like, obviously people speaking in English get the Spanish subtitles and vice versa. And, like, backstage segments, you kind of get them sometimes and you don't, but Ray's there to give you the context. And then he's trying to balance, like, okay, I'm here to be a commentator, I'm here to be a translator, but also that's my dickhead kid in the ring right now. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Keep the story alive.
Yeah.
I think as a commentary team, they're doing great. As a presentation, they're doing fantastic. WWE never skimps on the the presentation side of things, but they're doing a lot of fun. And for Guapo, for you who were more on here with myself and Kristen back in the day, making all the lucha jokes,
Mhm.
even the occasional recreational beverage in a mask.
Yeah.
It's way overdue for you to be here talking AAA with us. I will say the fact that, and you can go both ways with this as a promotional idea.
Yeah.
This is not a proper PLE, which is why I'm not doing a pay-per-view day hangout on Saturday. This
Right.
is much in the same pattern as how NXT did, especially coming out of COVID. They're taking like what I used to call an elevated episode of NXT, and they'll call it Great American Bash week 1, week 2. This is being spread over 3 weeks.
Yeah, you
Of
nailed it.
TNA
I'm very
Marathon TV.
disappointed, honestly. I was so looking forward to the PLE version. Why? Because it has a bigger feel when it's multiple
Yeah.
matches.
Of
Splitting
course,
it into
yeah.
multiple weeks doesn't have the same effect. And it's all airing and or happening one night, but airing over several weeks as well,
Yeah.
correct?
I believe so. I believe they're yeah, I believe the as a live event, it is being treated like a PLE. It's being um
Because I
recorded
see
because
5
obviously
matches in total, so that's what it was supposed to
yeah,
be, essentially a 3-hour card, so they're splitting it into 3
WWE loves their
one-hour
5 match
shows.
card. But I
Yeah.
think with the whole matter of like same thing as they've done in NXT, like even though it's one fight card, you'll have something that happens on week 1 that'll lead to an extra match on week 2 and whatever.
Yes,
Because
they're
nothing
gonna have an add-in, but
as we look at the breakdown right now, Wikipedia is my best friend as always. 3 matches are announced for week 1. 1 match is announced for week 2. There's 1 match where we don't know which week it's happening, and nothing is announced specifically for week 3. So I expect there to be some overflow, some backlash, some like this will lead into a match next week type of thing. I don't know how that's going to work for the live show, considering the 2 main events are happening in week 1. But that's not for me to figure out at the end of the day. The dead man. Oh, that's what we got to talk about. Guapo, your opinion. You're my lucha expert on here. You were my, AEW expert, but that was when AEW was worth talking about. Your thoughts on the dead man booking the territory?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's got to do it. Might as well let it be Mark Calloway. Famous luchador, Mark Calloway.
Famous high flyer, The Undertaker.
Yeah,
exactly.
the one
Later
and
on.
only.
Sometime later on in this podcast, we're going to introduce Guapo to Cater Taker, but not quite yet. Anyway, so shall we dive into the card?
Yeah.
Not yet. Yes, we shall.
Don't know what week it's happening because it's listed as being on week TBA. Fatal 4-way for the AAA Cruiserweight Champion. I'm a dickhead. Laredo Kid defending the title against Dragon. The AAA.
Okay. Thanks. Got it.
It's Ethan Page thing. Anyways, Ethan Page and Chelsea.
Speak English, boy. Oh, Cater Taker. God. See, you're just
two Americans and a Canadian talking about Mexican wrestling. This is not going to get me canceled at all.
never.
Laredo Kid, who's awesome. Dragon Lee, who's awesome. Jack Cartwheel, who's a lot of fun from Evolve and apparently is spending more time in AAA than in Evolve. And the returning of TJP, who has pink eye, which is awesome.
Poor
I
guy
gotta have
can't
pink
catch
eye.
a break.
No, just because he comes out and he's got like, freaking like outsider makeup and like he's the goth kid, but never really grew out of it. Like he's literally
It's not just a phase though.
No, nobody farted on his pillow. It's fine. There's an Apollo Crews joke in there
that we know of.
Touch. I just think it's kind of cool as one of those, and especially in the early AAA shows, we talked about like a little bit of everybody from everywhere. I think you even had Leon Slater from TNA at one point. Jack Cartwheel from Evolve, lots of fun, lots of interesting things, because I thought he was like fan favorite babyface until we get into how this match actually happened. Dragon Lee is obviously Dragon Lee, came out of obscurity and then showed up in WWE because AEW is obscurity. Laredo Kid, my first experience with Laredo Kid was him doing cameos here and there in TNA for like stuff like the Ultimate X and all that sort of thing, and TJP going back to the Cruiserweight Classic and the video game music and all that kind of thing. Now, how we got here, let's talk about how we got here. Laredo Kid's the Cruiserweight champion. Awesome. The belt is gorgeous. Yeah. TJP won a number 1 contenders match, had a match with Laredo Kid, tried to cheat. The babyface Laredo Kid cheated better and won. TJP is pissed. New number 1 contender match.
Dragon mad because you cheated better. I'm sorry, but that just cracked me up the way it worked.
No,
that is such a TJP thing,
but I'm saying it's funny because the babyface cheated better because
yes,
babyface is known for cheating.
But I'm saying like what a thing to be mad at. It's just a funny predicament.
But it's a great heel mentality of, oh, you guys would have hated me if I did this, and then go back to the tape kind of thing. But we had another number 1 contenders match between Dragon Lee, Jack Cartwheel. Dragon Lee won that number 1 contenders match. TJP came out to challenge him. It's like, oh, at best you'll be number 2. It was a poo joke. Laredo Kid, Dragon Lee, TJP all take each other out. Jack Cartwheel, who is the loser by definition, who shouldn't be getting anything, stands as the only one standing in the ring with Laredo Kid's belt. So we have a fatal 4-way.
There you go.
That's how it happened.
I'm going TJP because I'm happy to see TJP on my screen again, to be quite honest with you. Guys, thoughts?
Dragon Lee, that's where I'm going. I'm going to let Guapo give his more long-winded thoughts.
I'm thinking Dragon Lee as well.
Really?
Simply just because, I mean, it's either they give him a title or he's probably going to be walking pretty soon, but
they've not done much since he was a man of note with AJ, and that was a good pairing, but it never really felt.
They didn't do anything with it.
It just never felt
like nothing.
Yeah, it didn't feel like, oh, this is a main event act or this is AJ worthy. It never felt like the Styles name lifted him and elevated him in any way. They had good matches. That springboard, Styles clash from the stomp was great, but everything else, the character work left a lot to be desired. Then he gets killed by Gunther. choked out and then
Yup.
beaten. So him going to New Japan to kind of like not the reinvention, but the recovery of like, here I could make my name again and build myself back up. Him winning makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
I think Dragon Lee is probably the better fit for it anyway. Just yeah, it'd be a better fit for let him be the cruiserweight. He doesn't even have to hold it long, maybe a month or two, and then next bigger show rolls around, drops it to somebody else or whatever. But just something to give him a little spark of electricity back.
I don't
Yeah,
doubt that it's
exactly.
amazing. I think they have something in mind for like the fact that we're saying right now, hey, they're not using Dragon Lee is funny because I would have said it before. They did the stuff with AJ Styles, not going to say AJ Lee, not going to do it. For better or for worse, they did have him as the tag team champions. That had him on TV for a while. The faction that they've got Dragon Lee in right now, they want to tag team Penta with anybody but Ray Phoenix. At this point,
Stupid, but whatever.
it is. Well, here's the thing: at the last proper AAA pay-per-view, we were supposed to get the reunion of the Lucha Brothers because they were going to take on Los Gringos Locos 2.0, but then Penta got injured. But I do think it's a little cut and paste. I do think we're going to get some kind of tag team stuff with Penta and Dragon Lee, with Rey Mysterio kind of being there in like a mentor capacity. Now, the fact that Penta beat Dom for the IC title kind of throws that into abeyance. If Dragon Lee wants to come down and they want to make a name out of him in AAA, which is exactly what they're doing with somebody else that I'm going to mention later on, I'm fine with that. I just think TJP as a character, I sort of coined it in my little AAA like roundup thing that I've been doing the past couple of weeks. TJP is kind of playing work rate Miz at this point, just kind of coming in there and being a dickhead, but like actually backing it up in the ring. There's a weird thing about like Jack Cartwheel being the only one that never won a number one contenders match to be in this match anyway, where he could just like do the whole like Edge Ultimate Opportunist thing and let them all kill each other like he did a couple weeks ago on Weekly AAA. We're all burying Laredo Kid because nobody's picking Laredo Kid. But I got 2 votes. Sounds like I got 2 votes for Dragon Lee, 1 vote for TJP. I'm going to vote for the dickhead. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Real quick, does Jack Cartwheel actually do a cartwheel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Never mind. I'm good. Yes, I'm
cartwheels. It's like again. I'm going to mention Destiny Wrestling. We've got a paler than me luchador in Destiny Wrestling called El Reverso. Guess what he does?
Can you get
Jack Cartwheel
does he do a reverse?
He reverses everything. It's actually really fun to watch. But no, Jack Cartwheel is one of those like does exactly what it says on the can wrestlers, and it kind of works. And I didn't think he was a dickhead until he watched Laredo Kid, Dragon Lee, and TJP kick the shit out of each other, and then just like stood there with the belt, like I can has belt. So if he wins, it'll be funny. If TJP, like TJP's a dickhead, and I know he's been out there in the world doing stuff, but I haven't seen him in like my sphere of wrestling in quite a while. And when they announced him in one of the qualifiers for the Rey De Reyes tournament, it's like, oh yeah, it's this guy. Oh, and TJP. I'm like, what? Why wasn't this announced? This is kind of cool. There's some history here. You've actually got WWE title history with the guy. What are we doing?
You brought this right up to me.
I did. I'm like, look at this. This isn't a thing, is it?
Exactly.
It is a thing. And I mean, like, let's be fair. Other companies, like, their whole roster would be a cruiserweight division if they had a cruiserweight division. But we don't need to go there. It's fine.
DNA.
You're not young or a buck. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
They're facing FTR. You know, that's special.
Specified. Oh my God. Again, why?
Because it's special.
Why? They're already wasting the Rascals. They're already wasting the Rascals.
I see your point, and I raise you Rusev.
Fair.
At least Rusev got beat by Obafemi. The Rascals, on the other hand,
Rusev has been beat by almost everybody at this point.
That's his job.
And like quick time.
That's his penance for being in AEW.
That's his penance for trying to be better himself.
Yep. You should have never been the reclaimer, Rusev. You had Rusev Day. How dare you?
more like the recliner Miro. Anyways, putting everybody to sleep. But
they're teaching him a lesson.
They haven't done good things with good people like Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Cody Rhodes never became a big deal. Jade Cargill isn't one of the best
Hey.
matches coming up at this year's WrestleMania or anything like that.
Hashtag we
not,
don't
but
want
okay.
Cody.
Well, we don't, but like it's of the 4
mean,
world titles, like the two
as a person who likes
the match I
Cody,
don't-
the whole what they did this year is kind of never mind. We're going off on a tangent, and that's a
Yeah,
whole
okay.
other video.
Oh, we're gonna bring you back for WrestleMania discussion because Jake and I are gonna argue a lot.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
it's
I'm
going
in.
down in the dirty.
I'm getting 3 matches that I really want, and I'm looking forward to WrestleMania, and everybody else is sad. Where are we? We got to bring up Kristen again. Everybody else is just real sad. Okay. You know who else is real sad right now? The AAA tag team champions, Pagano and Psycho Clown, because they keep losing friends. Murder Clown.
Maybe it's
wandered
because
off.
they're clowns.
Murder Clown wandered off, and Dave the Clown got attacked, and Panic Clown is panicking because he got attacked. And they're taking on the War Raiders, who have been going to waste in WWE, I will admit. But them coming in and looking 10 feet tall in AAA is awesome. And also, the Psycho Clown is a thing.
Yeah.
Psycho Clown is an awesome thing. I'm not going to lie. Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown might be the 2 main reasons I'm enjoying AAA, but that's not exactly true. Also, Dominic Mysterio is a main eventer and a world champion. Anyways, what do we think about this? Pagano and Psycho Clown versus the War Raiders. Do we think the War Raiders are here for a good time or a long time?
I'm gonna go War Raiders just because I don't like clowns. Simple. Fuck them clowns.
I think there's a point to be made as well, because as we're talking about AAA, I'll say it for the 100th time. I'm not saying AAA is a brand new thing, but it is a brand new thing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to have those things where it's like, oh, well, you guys know the War Raiders. Well, the War Raiders are now their AAA champions. The opposite argument to that is, why don't you keep the titles on Pagano and Psycho Clown and just feature them on Raw once in a blue moon, or SmackDown once in a blue moon? And there's 2 sides to that. 2 questions here, because Pagano and Psycho Clown do have an ongoing feud with another faction, my favorite faction on SmackDown, and once again, I love it. Everybody else hates it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Are we getting a continuation of the Psycho Circus versus the Wyatt Six? Yes, they're important, and it's fun. It's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the best one for that, like emoting from behind a mask, has gotta be a Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio was the guy that broke through in 2 different companies where luchadors weren't exactly being pushed into the main event scene. And I mean, part of it was, oh, look at him, he's the biggest little fighter or whatever, which was a little diminutive, but it's still like, even to be chosen for a role like that in those times where now we have luchadors all over the damn place. And oh, it's cute. The other company has their little deal with CMLL, and one of their champions is Cesaro, because Cesaro's such a fucking luchador. Sorry, am I letting my biases? Oh, but they're celebrating that their #1 flagship show beat NXT by a sliver this week. Fuck off.
But they did.
Now, I will say they've already tried this once with the tag team championships, because right after the buyout or whatever, or the deal was announced at WrestleMania last year. WrestleMania is coming up again this year, so it's going on a year now. Immediately on one of their next shows, they had the tag titles put on Berto and Angel, and it was one of those, like, okay, cool, they're doing it to put some focus on the AAA titles so that people on the main roster can get a look at them and whatever. Or they're going to put Berto and Garza down in AAA and they can be stars in AAA. And neither one of those really happened. War Raiders are a more imposing, more, I hate to say it like this, but they're a more WWE powerhouse type of team. They haven't been used much recently, but they've got more in the bank with the fans than Angel and Berto do, because Angel and Berto have always been like sidekicks to somebody. So are they going with the same trick with maybe a more recognized tag team? And is that going to work while the Psycho Circus goes and does some more Wyatt stuff, lantern stuff? Except there's no lantern, because Solo has the lantern stuff and different things. I told you, man, they're gonna have a 4-on-5 ladder match at WrestleMania for the lantern, and it's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Now,
First,
there is
first one to light the lantern wins.
first one to grab the lantern. The first one to use the lantern successfully as a weapon wins.
Mm.
Now there is one oh dear. Well, he's not the first time they've done holograms, but let's not do that.
Well, hold on. First off, can't do that because hologram is on AEW. First off, thank you.
You beat me to the joke. What are we hologram? Yeah, holograms on AEW, aka he's injured. Now, I know Guapo's trying to keep us from drifting too far from the point, but I am going to drift into main roster WWE for just a second, but it's going to be appropriate in a second because it's somebody else that I think would be really fun interfering in this match. We're talking about characters. I have to get the Guapo reaction to
Our
the
truth.
no, to the WWEification of Danhausen. Very nice.
Very nice, very evil. Yes. I mean, I'm excited for him because I like Danhausen before he went to AEW, and I liked him while he was at AEW, and unfortunately, it just didn't work for him over there. So,
He's hanging out with Pepsi Phil.
Yep.
Pepsi Phil.
He was too close with Pepsi Phil. That's correct.
Oh, where he gave Punk the shirt? Fuck off, really? And it's like Bret Hart and Danhausen and Downhausen and AJ Lee. So people tell me this is the petty. Okay, but they didn't have a WWE person on there though. Yeah, Danhausen and Bret Hart, who's not a wrestler or not a WWE talent anymore, and AJ Lee, who wasn't a WWE talent yet. That's so fucking. People wonder why I hate this company. Who became a pariah because he's friends with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, who you can't really shade because he was like the guy behind the company existing. Fuck me. Royce Keys? Yeah, I know. They've all been stuck in Guantanamo Bay. Anyways, moving swiftly on. My drink is getting really warm. Does anybody have anything for my drink? Anyways, but no, in all seriousness, for one night only, just because they now have him, to have oh Jesus, I'm gonna get canceled. Good thing we're on Rumble. Everybody go subscribe to me on Rumble.
You're in Canada, the 51st state, so
All right, there, 13th province. Calm down. It'll be the best province. It'll be fantastic. Good Christ. Anyways, I do think for one night only, like not as a constant, but for one night only, Danhausen being an honorary member of the Psycho Circus would be hilarious.
Just him come out and curse, the War Raiders would be perfect.
He comes out to curse Psycho Clown right before Psycho Clown does the rip off his face thing, which is still awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
Or in all honesty, probably in one of the next matches we talk about, he comes up for the 4-way and curses original El Grande.
Fair enough. Okay, well, we'll get to that, but I'll just do this quickly. Lady Flamer, 1/3 of Los Toxicos, who is still the AAA Reina de Reyes champion, will be defending in an open challenge. Now, the way she phrased this is she's tired of beating up people in AAA. She wants to see somebody from Raw or SmackDown. She doesn't mention NXT, but as Jake and I have mentioned 100 times already, there's one person in WWE that, to my knowledge at this point, that has a dual contract with NXT and AAA, and that is the absolute dynamo known as Lola Vice. Mm-hmm. Lola Vice is going to be on NXT, the underground match. Yep. Yeah. On a side note, there's 2 kick-ass chicks in the NXT women's division that are proven that you can go out there and be kick-ass and not necessarily be fighting for a title, is Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan. On a side note, but I think she's going to be the Reina de Reyes champion before she's the NXT champion, just because it's a little jumbled at the top right now when you've got Sol Ruka, Zarya, JC Jane, Kendall Gray, and there's somebody else I'm forgetting. But heading into Stand and Deliver, there's a lot of people at the top right there. I do think because Flamer's promo this past week on AAA was so specific to say Raw or SmackDown, I think you get a match that's just like there for match's sake. And when Flamer wins, there's a stare down with Lola Vice afterwards. I don't think Lola answers this challenge. There's a lot of fun choices for people on Raw and SmackDown for her to fuck with. Least entertaining option, because she's already been in AAA a couple of times. Natty could be a thing.
Okay, with Natty.
Not very entertaining as a character, but in the ring, she's done some pretty cool stuff in AAA before. If they want to go champion versus champion, you could have Julia down there for a day. Julia versus Flamer wouldn't hurt my feelings. Champion, I mean, as far as their advertising would go, like, oh my god, I can't believe we're getting champion versus champion. Like the way they can play around with that. I mean, Stephanie Vacour would get a huge pop, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, Witchclaw would get a pop too. What's her face? Liv Morgan.
Oh yeah, and Liv Morgan will be there because she's got Ray, or sorry, she's got Dom in the main event.
Yep.
Liv would be a fun one, but Liv won. Liv is Liv is your Rumble winner. Liv is going to Mania in what should be one of the main events, but probably won't be. I don't think they're having her go to AAA and lose against the Reina de Reyes champion. That's just my. If Chelsea Green wasn't injured, get Chelsea Green back down there because they love her. Like, she's a great heel, but they love her. When her and Ethan Page were mixed tag team champions, they were both killing it on SmackDown and NXT respectively, like showing off those titles and whatever. Maybe
Just realized.
Right. I do think it's great though. As soon as she's good to go again, they have an argument for getting a shot at the titles, because technically the title holders weren't defending the titles. Like, it was a substitution. Heels will always talk their way around those types of situations. It's fair. It is. Yeah. I know before Dom became the Rey de Reyes, or sorry, not the Rey de Reyes, the Mega Champion, there was everybody saying, "Oh yeah, that's right. There are mixed tag team champions." The last ones before AAA was bought, the last ones of note that came into my sort of conversational sphere was Sammy Guevara and Tay Mello.
Yep.
And I mean, if there's two people I want to see fight anymore, like if we're talking about like cross promotional type stuff, Sammy Guevara versus Dominic Mysterio would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be a good match, honestly.
A lot of fun. But like I say, even if you got somebody, I hate to say it like this, but like a little lower on the card, like somebody who's like solid but not in anything right now, just coming off of Monday night for the women's championship.
Wait.
No. For the yeah, Trick Williams.
Whoop the Trick? What?
Trick Williams was Oh, okay, yeah. No, sorry. No, I was going at it from the point of view of the mixed tag, because then you get Tay Mello and Liv Morgan, and that's also kind of interesting. Because I think they were in NXT at the same time. I don't think they ever crossed paths though. But anyways, but this is why I'm saying though, the way they phrased it as specifically Raw and SmackDown, like I think to like eliminate NXT, to eliminate people from saying Lola Vice, because Lola Vice is the obvious option. But you got to find somebody who's in the middle of the card, who's solid in ring but doesn't have anything going on. Immediately, who comes to my mind is Ivy Nile. Natty, but
let's be real. They're just gonna get Charlotte to do it.
Then oh my god! But then she'd win, and then Lola. Oh my god! And then Lola Vice versus Charlotte in AAA.
There you go.
My god. Lays under the ground. Lays under the ground. Anyways, my whole thing is I'm not really like latching onto a choice, because I really think it's going to be an exhibition for Flamer. Maybe some involvement from Los Toxicas to
help. Could be Nikki Bella.
Fuck all the way off.
I'm sorry, yeah, Brie.
Even one of them's Amber Heard and one of them's Amber Heard's sister. But anyways, moving swiftly on. My point being is I don't think who answers the open challenge is going to matter. I think it's going to be an exhibition for Flamer. Maybe you get the rest of the Los Toxicas involved, but I think the whole match exists for Flamer to win, Flamer to successfully defend the title, and then get the stare down from Lola Vice, because I do think Lola Vice goes for the championship when they do have a proper PLE. She's over as shit. And she's already one of the mixed tag champs with Mr. Iguana. And what does Mr. Iguana have, Jake?
An iguana? Does he have a surprise in his pants?
I was like, what the fuck? What just happened? All right. So before we talk about people talking about championships and whatnot, let's talk about the four guys that are fighting for a sword. It's awesome. As I say, being brand new to AAA, what do you want to do? Get me Mr. Iguana. Fine, cool, very nice, very evil. Pagano and Psycho Clown and the rest of the Psycho Circus, awesome. Now we have I thought it was a PLE, but Rey De Reyes, which is the Rey De Reyes tournament, and they're fighting for a sword. They get a sword. It's awesome. Egg. But yeah, so we've had all the Fatal Four Ways to get to the Fatal Four Way final. So La Parca beat Aerostar, Jack Cartwheel, and Apollo Cruz. Original El Grande Americano beat Ray Phoenix, Dragon Lee, and Octagon Jr. The other El Grande Americano beat Ethan Page, Omos, and El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. And then Santos Escobar beat Mr. Iguana, Psycho Clown, and Abismo Negro Jr. Now, here's the thing, and this is where I say the thing that's being spread over a couple of different nights is like, oh, something's going to happen, and somewhere along the way, some other match is going to be why can't I find my words? Is going to be added to like week 2 or week 3 or whatever. 100%, I would be pulling for Santos Escobar if it wasn't so obvious that he's got this other title thing going on with El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. over the Latin American Championship. So El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. is going to cost him this match. The El Grandes are going to take out each other. So although it's not, I'm going La Parca only because like I'm not saying I love it. I'm really yep. But the thing is, this is happening. But this is happening week 1, which is this Saturday. So this is happening before the Raw match. So they're gonna screw each other out of this match, and it's gonna add heat to the match on Raw. If El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. I don't think I want either one of them to win. Honestly, the way they've been presenting Santos Escobar since he's come back to AAA, I'd love to see him win because they're presenting him like a fucking star. But they've already got him in this program with a mid card champion. Like
Gotcha.
Dr. Wagner Jr. is the AAA Latin American, sorry, the AAA Latin American champion. So they're gonna fight over that. So him grabbing the sword, which is also a #1 contendership for the Mega Championship.
Yeah.
It's splitting the story before the story even starts. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. It just the problem with it is that to me it's still it's lacking somewhere, if that makes sense. Like it's not the way this turned out for everything else on this show, I'm so behind except for this. Because I'm not a fan really of most of the participants. I want Santos to win. I don't feel like that's going to happen. The 2 El Grandes, I'm tired of. I want them to be just El Grande again. Please.
The way you can go around it.
Please make them Chad Gable.
Yeah. The way they can get around it is
just Chad Gable. If the other one can stay.
if Dr. Wagner Jr. doesn't interfere and Santos does get the win, because if there's no interference, Santos should win because they're presenting him like a fucking star. If it's the matter of Dr. Wagner doesn't screw with him until he's actually executing that #1 contendership, and then that leads him to face Dr. Wagner and take Dr. Wagner's title instead because he fucked him out of the big title. That's a story that could make sense, but you got to do a lot of fast talking to make that make sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing.
But no, Santos, he's had 1 match since he's come back.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
He's being presented better than either company has presented Andrade. How's that for a comparison?
No, you're not wrong. I mean,
I'm saying AEW, I'm saying WWE. Andrade hasn't been presented properly since NXT. Let's be real for a second. And Santos Escobar has had a slow burn and was great in NXT for what they gave him. And when they had the Cruiserweight Championship in NXT.
It was just hard because of the time frame in which he was in NXT.
Yeah, fair. And
both some of the roster, who was involved, what was going on, coming out of the shutdown and everything, like it all, going into. I will
say the one match. What was it? It was Santos taking on, because who was it? It was Jordan Devlin was the now JD McDonough, who was the Cruiserweight champion, and then he went home to Ireland, and then the world shut down, so they needed to make they did that whole really really shitty version of the G1. Let's be real for a second. And they crowned Santos Escobar as the interim Cruiserweight champion. And as soon as JD McDonough, Jordan Devlin came back and they got face to face for the first time, Shawn Michaels just randomly walked out, chucked a ladder at them, and they had a really awesome ladder match.
Yeah.
But I mean, after that, like he was just like let's be real, he was like the cartel leader of NXT. Not that NXT isn't the place where you could potentially have a cartel member. We have a mafia guy. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We have a school. We have some goth kids. Tatum Paxley's doing awesome. It's great. I
Yeah.
love
She
Tatum
was
Paxley.
underwater a couple weeks ago, so I guess she's doing much better.
She was underwater with spiky veins coming out of her face.
Yeah, I was worried.
About that. We've gone off on an NXT tangent, and Guapo's just like zoned out now.
He knows.
I don't know anything happening right now, so
You don't know anything's happening. But no, like going back to like old black and gold NXT, Santos was presented pretty good there. Middling faction guy on the main roster,
Yeah.
but like obviously he's got history in AAA. They are receiving him like a gigantic star. WWE should roll with him like a gigantic star.
Santos Escobar to win. Yes.
Santos Escobar to win, unless they're going the Latin American Championship route, which would sort of be like a side quest at this point.
Yeah, it really would be, which isn't the
Yeah.
worst thing, but
And-
could be. I
we
don't like.
got-
Just let Santos get this. La Parca and
Yeah.
the two El Grandes don't compete in my book.
See,
Not on a
think about it
permanent
is-
basis, but in this matchup.
Think what
you
it
know?
is. If it was, I mean, La Parca's La Parca. It is what it is. If La Parca wins, it'll be fun. He'll get killed by whoever the champion is, and we'll move on. It'll be like Damian Sandow with the Money in the Bank. But if it was La Parca, Chad Gable, Ludwig Kaiser, and Santos Escobar, we'd be having an entirely different conversation. And that's how weird wrestling is.
Yes.
Because if it was Chad Gable, especially like fucking yoked and jacked, like 2026 Chad Gable,
Yeah.
put him in a match with Dominic Mysterio.
Make him
I mean,
suffer.
he's already been F5'd
Make
into a
him
wall by
pay.
Brock Lesnar, but Brock
I think,
Lesnar's
well,
Brock
that or freaking
Lesnar-
jacked Ludwig Kaiser right now too.
Kaiser's
Yeah.
over as shit as like the second Americano. Like that's the
Yeah.
funny part.
Of course.
It's because it's simply just because he completely leaned into it, and his Spanish is great. Like he doesn't falter at all. So
Number two is the real
you
one.
can tell he's put the work in.
Exactly.
I know you're not watching. I'm assuming you're not watching NXT.
No, no,
Do you know who the Vanity Project is?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so they're three guys from Evolve, and basically it's like NXT's version of a boy band at this point. Like they're like the dickheads in high school that think they're jocks, but like they're not even jocks.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
one of them is the Evolve champion, and two of them are the NXT tag champions, and they're like ridiculous dickheads, and it's awesome. And
Their
facing-
original duo name was Swipe Right, so you could see the amount
the
of
tag team is Swipe Right, so you can see where they're going, and then
Got it.
yeah.
So now it's the three of them, like very, very boy band-ish. Like if they were a little bit less dickhead, they'd be 3MB.
Best example, I was gonna say, remember how Drew McIntyre looked all skinny and frail when he first started, and now he's
Yeah.
this man
God damn.
beefcake? No, that's what they're in. They don't have really much muscle or mass. They're skinny guys, which is not an insult by any means. It's just they don't have the muscle mass. They're smaller framed, but they're very young as well. Like they're in
One
a
of them-
ball. They're starting.
One of them is named Brad Baylor, and he could be a ringer for Brad Taylor from Home Improvement.
Basically, yeah, you
They
nailed
look
it.
like
Got it.
extras.
Okay.
They look like extras from Saved by the Bell. But the three of them are taking on the three Los Americanos because NXT is going on the road and they're doing a show from Houston next week. So they're bringing in the big stars, the Americanos.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's gonna be good.
Isn't William Regal's son like a person on NXT right now?
William Regal and Fit Finley just showed up last week because there's a faction of like second generation stars called the Birthright.
His
and
one
it's-
meh son is there, and his other
Yeah.
badass son is in AEW, right? Isn't that how
Fin-
that's working?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
Fit Finley's son's in AEW. That's the badass, I think.
But here's the thing though, Finley's other son and Regal's son and
Oh.
Santino's daughter and Brian Pillman's son.
And Finley's daughter.
Yeah, and
Well,
like
Santino's daughter. Who's Santino's daughter?
Ariana Grace.
Oh.
She's the
And Finley's
NXT
daughter is Uriah Connor. So.
She's the NXT star that is currently the TNA Knockouts champion.
Gotcha.
It's all, but no, it's second generation. It's the Birthright. It's Lexus King, who's the former Brian Pillman Jr.
Right. I know Lexus King.
Who's like a rock star sometimes and a country star sometimes and in his pajamas sometimes.
But
It's
all
fine.
awesome.
You should watch NXT. It's good. They have the speed title.
It's been very entertaining.
I'm looking at the NXT roster page, and all I see is the speed title person, Elio Lafleur. What the fuck is that?
Lafleur. He is a French luchador.
He's a French luchador. He's the fruchador.
Nope, don't like it.
It's his mask doesn't fit. It's fit. He actually wrestles better when he's in AAA than when he's in NXT. And NXT is where he's got a belt. Let's make it make sense. Everything is WWE.
Everything.
But yeah, no, I had a point. Santos should win. They should hold off the Dr. Wagner Jr. stuff, and then yes. Now let's move on. Now that I've totally derailed everybody, I've reminded Jake that the speed title exists. I've reminded Guapo that NXT exists. Now let's talk about the world title match with all the stipulations.
Okay.
It is Dominic Mysterio, presumably with Liv Morgan and the rest of the Judgment Day that was always heel but turned heel again on Monday.
Yeah.
In his corner.
They turned healer.
They turned healer on Balor.
More healer-ist.
Yeah, it's a Festival of Friendship type of scenario, which is good because Jericho's coming back soon. Hi, guys! Versus
El You just made the list.
El Hijo del Vikingo with Dorian Raldon and Omos in his corner. If you want a tag team partner that makes you look real short, get Omos. So now, let's look at the stipulations. It's no disqualification. There's some other term for it in AAA terms, but it's basically a no disqualification match. If Rey Mysterio wins, Vikingo can't challenge for the title as long as Mysterio is champion. If Vikingo wins, Mysterio has to leave AAA forever. Dominic Mysterio is over as fuck everywhere he goes. He's not dropping this title. He's not dropping the title.
I don't see him dropping it yet. No. Not here.
They've
got. What if Balor challenges him for the title here because he can't challenge him for the IC title? You know.
Well, he doesn't have the IC title.
See,
no, not the IC title. The IC title, which is the AAA Mega Championship.
I got it.
Yes,
I got it.
Oh no. See, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing. I would love to see that. I would love to
show me
IC.
Sorry.
I would love to see it, and I think Dom versus Finn for the Mega Championship would be a huge get and a huge eyeball for AAA. But I hate to break it to you, except not really. They're doing Dom and Finn at WrestleMania, and
yeah, I think so.
After the turn on Monday, and after the great history of the Judgment Day, which Jake and I have a separate podcast that we still have to do at some point on the great star-making history of the Judgment Day. I don't think that match needs a title. To be perfectly honest with you, I think he goes into WrestleMania still as the Mega Champion.
Yes,
but I think it's almost a diversion for Finn if he says, "Oh, you have a belt. I'd like your belt." When really it's like, no, you just handed me my ass on Raw.
Yeah, it's not going to be for the belt. It was just me fantasy booking. I totally agree.
Oh, no, I'm AAA.
Yeah,
I thought they were gonna do the Americano versus Americano as a thing for AAA because the fandom is opposite.
Yeah, they think that Gable's the heel, right?
Yeah, Gable Americano is heel in AAA because in the first round, sorry, what was it? Yeah, the first qualifier for the Rey De Reyes tournament, it was supposed to be El Grande Kaiser, and Gable basically handcuffed him to a piece of workout equipment and took his place because it's like, oh, well, the card says El Grande, and here I am. And then in the very last qualifier, they pretty much did the opposite, and they both got in anyways. But more of the story has been told on AAA than on Raw, so I don't know why they're doing the one-on-one match on Raw.
And that's something that happened on Raw the other day, though. The same thing, because El Grande got replaced by El Grande. You know, the original got replaced by the new one. Well, he was cursed. Yes, the curse.
But on SmackDown,
not them beating the shit out of him.
On SmackDown, Danhausen's mentor is going to be The Miz, and it's going to be fantastic. If they do, just do it once. You don't have to do it every week. Just do it once. Show me one tag team match where we get the team of Mizhausen.
Oh yes, it's gonna happen.
For Mizhausen.
Just for the shits and giggles, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you.
And I have no real way of inserting it into this conversation because he's a TNA guy. But Guapo, since you haven't been in here in a while, give us a wonderful.
Oh, wonderful. What?
Wonderful, yeah.
Oh, yes, wonderful, yeah.
Now it's retro Spaz Phoenix podcast stuff.
Yeah, now we feel your broken brilliance.
I had to
Yes.
remind you what the retro was.
Yeah,
That went down like a lead balloon and a wet fart in church. It's fine. So
Oh.
Dom's retaining his championship. I think Dorian
Dom
Rodon
is, yeah.
is going to get like the shit kicked out of him by the Judgment Day, which is going
Yeah.
to be hilarious.
It's coming.
But yeah. So looking back over the card, 2 of you are picking Dragon Lee, and I'm picking TJP for reasons. I think did we all go War Raiders?
Yeah,
Yes.
War Raiders.
Tag match? Okay.
Yes, so far.
Flamer's going to beat the shit out of somebody, but we think eventually down the line it's going to be her versus Lola Vice because Lola Vice is a fucking star.
Yeah.
We all go with Santos because it makes sense, even though the story would tell you otherwise. Dominic Mysterio is going to beat El Hijo del Vikingo. It's going to be really funny when all the people in Judgment Day who are kind of small in comparison try to knock down Omos. Or if Omos just looks at it, is like, you already lost. What the fuck am I doing here? If Omos just walks away, that'll be the funniest thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
And that's hilarious in its own right.
It is. Because Omos versus Microman in that battle royal that they did a while ago was the funniest shit. And that makes me a bad person, and I don't care.
No, because that is the kind of comedy.
It was just light ice.
Yeah. See? And it's the kind of comedy that stands out for that reason, because it's supposed to be uncomfortable, and that's what makes it even more funny. And they've handled the execution of these things well, I think, so far. Some of their stuff is childlike and infantile, but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to bring in kids and young ones and families. Like, that's part of the allure.
People say, like, the lucha stuff is, it's just like watching a cartoon. And it's like, okay, but what does that really mean? It just means you've got really, really entertaining, heightened characters.
Yeah. And that's why I said before, they're so possessed about showing you the difference between characters, because that's all important to everything they do.
But if you look at it, right, like, there's certain things, like in an actual cartoon, that makes sense. It's a cartoon. Same way in like a superhero movie. It's like, this person and this person teamed up, so now they have double powers.
Yeah.
That's how superhero logic works. Horror movie and Scream 7 is good. Fuck what you heard. But in horror movies,
I haven't seen it yet.
It's good. Don't go with the Melissa Jenna truthers out there. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm just looking forward to Scary Movie 6 myself. But
because they basically said, because they said they made the whole movie with the purpose of pissing people off.
Yes.
But like, in a horror movie, right? Of course we would run out the door, but you run up the stairs instead because it's a horror movie. There are certain things we accept in certain brands of entertainment, and the lucha stuff is the same thing. It's like, okay, did we accept that this wrestler was a dinosaur? Yes. Did we accept that this wrestler was a zombie? Yes. Did we accept that this wrestler was a piece of fruit? Yes. Did we accept that these 2 wrestlers were fighting in a dentist office? Yes. Did we accept that wrestler is riding a horse? Yes. Did we accept that Sasha Banks has a bigger forehead than me? Yes. Like, these are things we just accept. But this is too much. Okay. All right. They're fighting for a sword. There's crazy clowns. There's Vikings. There's lots of dragons and such. Wrestling has never made sense. And by the way, you guys fight in orange juice.
All I'm saying is WWE has a chance to bring somebody back right now to be in AAA, and it'd be great. If they can bring back Jack Swagger and bring back the Real Americans in AAA.
Oh my god. That'd be amazing.
That's the ultimate horror story. No, that's the he's coming.
I want okay, speaking of like the Real American thing, if somebody came to AAA, especially because they're going to come up and do some tapings in the States, if somebody came out, got like the fake mustache and everything, and came out as like cosplaying as Mr. America.
The ghost of Mr. America haunts us all. It's like the Phantom of the Opera, but Mr. America.
I really think they should do a show live from the Gulf of America.
Oh,
it's El Grande's hometown.
Yes.
Hometown, yeah.
Right in my backyard.
Guapo, I'm going to put you on the spot right here, right now, because we've got you live, except not live, except maybe kind of live later. Hi to the people in the chat. You going to come back and join us for WrestleMania talk, WrestleMania week?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. You're going to mediate between me and Jake because we're going to argue because Jake suddenly doesn't like fun?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna join Jake and arguing against you, but
That's unbiased. Show me ripping Spaz's throat out. It's on the board. Can't wait for Mania.
It's not the last thing I ripped. But anyways, moving swiftly on. Guapo, you don't do much YouTubing, but tell people where they can find you if they want to find you.
If you want to find me, I am on YouTube, Guapo_504. I'm also on Twitter, Guapo_504. I don't tweet or post videos, but we're here.
Well, if you actually accept the YouTube collaboration thing, you will be a co-collaborator on this. So this will technically show up on your channel as well. And Jake, we do the Jake portion of the podcast. You got all kinds of stuff going on your side. Tell us what's going on and where they can find you.
Yes, Milo agrees. He's excited for WrestleMania coming up. We're certainly on the road to WrestleMania Vegas, and we've got a lot of content coming up. Game night with UCR, the unapologetic and completely random podcast, returns every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, so join us then. Monday, we have the Raw review. Tuesdays, the NXT review. Wednesday is Into Somewhere Weekly. Tonight, we'll be discussing a bunch of WrestleMania news, as well as some more updates and AEW Revolution finalized predictions. And then this weekend, this upcoming Sunday, you've got your hangout to look forward to. And after that, I'll be live with the review for AEW Revolution. So come stop by, share your thoughts, and let us know what you think. YouTube.com/Jake DeMarco for that and so much more. Join us over at Into Somewhere. And thank you, Spaz, for all the content and help you provide, sir.
Just a reminder for everybody on Sunday, if you haven't joined them in before, the pay-per-view day hangout is basically I put up a random image that you don't really have to pay attention to. And for about 10 hours or so, there's an open chat running on the side. Come on in, sign it like a guest book, leave a prediction, leave a reaction, make fun of AEW with me because they definitely deserve it. They made Mox bad. And other than that, you know where to find me or you wouldn't be here. I've been Spaz. That's been Jake. And holy shit, that's been Guapo. We are your YWC AAA reality check a wrestling. That didn't work at all. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, me, Senor Guapo, and super sexy Jake DeMarco are tagging out. Bye, guys.
Mexico.